Well, I come from Alabama with my banjo on my knee, and I'm bound for Louisiana, my own true love for to see. It did rain all night the day I left, the weather was bone dry. The sun was so hot I froze myself. Suzanne, don't you go on and cry. I said, oh, Susanna, now don't you cry for me, as I come from Alabama with this banjo on my knee. Well, I had myself a dream the other night when everything was still. I dreamed that I saw my girl Suzanne, she was coming around the hill. Now the buckwheat cake was in her mouth, the tear was in her eye. I said that I come from Dixieland, Suzanne, don't you break down and cry. I said, oh, Susanna, now don't you cry for me, 'cause I come from Alabama with my banjo on my knee.
Happy Sunday, everybody. How are you? My name is Jim. It's a special Sunday here because I'm going to roll a James Taylor tribute evening here. It's James Taylor's birthday this week, so the young man's going to be 73 years old, believe that or not. Oh, yeah. So I thought, what a perfect time. I did a John Prine tribute night a few weeks ago, and I plan on doing a few more. I got a Bob Dylan one lined up. I've got a, what else is I thinking? Anyways, let's stick to the subject right now. James Taylor. So yeah, it's his birthday coming up, so I thought perfect time to do that. So I'm gonna play a bunch of my favorite James Taylor tunes, and if you have requests, let me know. But I'm also gonna do a bunch of other things. So if you want to hear some other songs, by all means. The variety show is always my goal. So thank you for being here. Let's get the show rolling with a little JT. Well, there's something in the way she moves, looks my way or calls my name, that seems to leave this troubled world behind. And if I'm feeling down and blue, or troubled by some foolish game, she always seems to make me change my mind. I feel fine anytime that she's around me now, 'cause she's around me now almost all the time. And if I'm well, you can tell she's been with me now. She's been with me now quite a long, long time, and I feel fine. Now and then those things I lean on lose the meaning, and I find myself careening into places where I should never let me go. She has the power to go where no one else can find me, and to silently remind me of the happiness and the good times that I know. Well, I said I just got to know them. It isn't what she's got to say, how she thinks or where she's been. 'Cause to me the words are nice the way they sound. I like to hear them best that way. Doesn't much matter what they mean. She says them mostly just to calm me down. And I feel fine anytime she's around now. 'Cause she's around me now. I guess just about all the time. And if I'm well, you can tell she's been with me now. She's been with me now quite a long, long time. Yes, and I feel fine. Oh, yeah. Thanks, Ives. Let's see, Smiley says, just saw him in concert. Last time concerts were going. I hope I'm in that shape when I'm 73, right? No doubt. Hi, Lauren. Or Lauren's family, whoever's on board there. How are you? Smiley, what about the video? So I got a different camera this evening. Tessa's got her camera with her, but trying something different here. So let me know if everything looks all right to you on that end. Let's let the JT continue here. We're gonna do another one. I promise we're gonna do more stuff than James Taylor, but this one's a little less. Sounds great. Not sure what's different, and it looks fine too. All right. So this is one called "Anywhere Like Heaven." I believe this is off of Sweet Baby James, maybe. Now when I walk along your city street, look into your eyes, when I see that simple sadness that on your features lies, I see lies. If my spirit starts to sing, it comes as no surprise. It's been a long way from anywhere like heaven to your town, this town. There's a pasture in the countryside I used to call my own. There's a natural pillow for my head. Grass there is overgrown, yes and no. I think of that place from time to time. I want to be alone. It's been a long way from anywhere like heaven to your town, this town. Now people, they live from day to day, but they do not count the time. They don't see their days slipping by, and neither do I. Now people, they live from day to day, but they do not count the time. heaven to your town this town. JT there. There we go. Thank you. Video looks all right. Okay, cool. All right. Let's see. I thought maybe I'd sneak in a Gregory Alan Isakov tune here. This is one called Virginia May. Bust out the harmonica for this one. Let's see. All right, if you have requests, please share them with me. So you know, James Taylor has 17 studio albums that he's made over the years. And probably my favorite is either Sweet Baby James or, well, I did Sweet Baby James, my favorite record that he put out. And we'll definitely get to that song because it's probably one of my favorite. I think James Taylor even was quoted as saying that's his best song, Sweet Baby James. But we'll talk about that when we get there. So, all right, Gregory Alan Isakov. It's called Virginia May. Slipped high up in the Rockies, set my clock, California. And I dreamed of something special, give that ocean man, she keeps me anyway. So I'm banking on Virginia, keep me calm and clear and straight. Just like clockwork seems to tell us, with every passing storm there's just a hotter hail. Oh, light my way, Virginia May. Well, I can't sit still, just pace across this hallway. We spent all this time just trading crimes, and the tunesmith packed a lunch, he's headed down the coastline. There's a loneliness that's blowing, well, I heard it from the radio man. He's been locked up in the belfry, listening to a string upon the can. Yeah, I'm sailing on to that Savior, just a pilgrim living on modern time. Ever since I found the magic, now every car cloud that passes is a sign. Oh, light my way, Virginia May. Well, I can't sit still, just pace across this hallway. We spent all this time trading crimes, and I'm saving on my sleep. Oh, another life. I'm saving on my sleep, oh, another life. 'Cause I'm saving on my sleep for another life. Thank you. Hey, all right. Gregory Alan Isakov there. All right. No requests yet. What's up with that? Let's see. Okay. Well, let me know what you want to hear. Let's see if I got another harmonica tune here. Yeah, I'm going to do. Along the same lines of James Taylor, you'd find yourself a good solid Jackson Browne. I think they did a tour not that long ago. I think it was Jackson Browne and James Taylor. And so do this great Jackson Browne song. got it, Derek. Definitely do some copper line. For sure. Let's do, ooh. I don't know about that one. Great song, though. It's called These Days. Well, I've been out walking, and I don't do that much talking these days. These days. These days I seem to think a lot about the things that I forgot to do for you. And all the times I had the chance to. Hey, I had a lover. I don't think I'll risk another. These days, these days I seem to be afraid to live the life that I have made in song. But it's just that I have been losing for so long. Well, I'll keep on moving, 'cause things are bound to be improving these days. One of these days. These days I sit on cornerstones, I count the time, quarter tones to 10. My friend, don't confront me with my failures, 'cause I had not forgotten them. Jackson Brown, thanks, Ives. Thanks, Derek. Appreciate that. All right, let's do Derek's request here. Great James Taylor song, Copper Line. All right. All right, let's see here. All right. Here we go. Even the old folks who never knew why they call it like they do. And I wondered since the age of 2, down on Copper Line. Copperhead, Copper Beach, copper kettle sitting side by each, and copper core, copper Georgia peach, down on Copper Line. Half a mile down the Morgan Creek, leaning heavy on the end of the week. Hercules and a hog-nosed snake, down on Copper Line. We were down on Copper Line. One summer night on the Copper Line, slip away past supper time, and wood smoke, moonshine, down on Copper Line. One time I saw my daddy dance, brought it back from a war in France, and brought it back from a war in France, down on Copper Line. Ranch water and tomato wine, creosote and turpentine, sour mash and no moonshine, down on Copper Line. Take me down on Copper Line. First kiss ever I took, like a page from a romance book, and the sky opened and the earth shook, down on Copper Line, down on Copper Line. Took a fall from a windy height, I only know how to hold on tight. Pray for love enough to last all night, down on Copper Line. Day breaks and the boy wakes, and the dog barks and the bird sings, and the sun rises, the angels sigh. Yeah. Tried to go back as if I could, all spec house and plywood, and tore up good, down on Copper Line. Doesn't come as a surprise to me, doesn't touch my memory, and I'm lifting up, rising free, down on Copper Line. Took the fall from a windy height, I only living for the end of the week. Hercules and a hog-nosed snake, down on Copper Line. Take me back down on Copper Line. Oh, down on Copper Line. Take me back down on Copper Line. Little JT Copper Line there, by request for Derek there. All right, we got Ivy coming up here in a little bit, and super excited about that. She's gonna play 2 Taylor Swift tunes because, as she told me, and you know this, right? Yeah. Taylor Swift was named after James Taylor, so it's only appropriate that Ivy plays a couple of Taylor Swift songs. So, all right, let's see what else we got. Speaking of people naming children, do you know who was a huge James Taylor fan? Garth Brooks. Garth Brooks has a channel on the satellite radio. And you can't go much more than an hour or two before you're going to hear a James Taylor song on there. And he's a huge James Taylor fan. and named his first child Taylor as well. Taylor Brooks, named after James Taylor. So,
Boy or girl?
I don't know. Good question. So, how about we do a Garth Brooks song, since he's such a fan of James Taylor. Looking back on the memory of the days we shared beneath the stars above, and for a moment all the world was right. Could I have known that you'd ever say goodbye? And now that I didn't know where it all would end, where it all would go, I realized better left to chance. I could have missed the pain, I'd have had to miss the holding you, I held everything for a moment. Wasn't I the king? That if I'd only known how the king would fall, hey, who's to say that I might have changed it all? And now that I didn't know where it all would end, where it all would go, I realized better left to chance. I could have missed the pain, I'd have had to miss the yes, my life is better left to chance. I could have missed the pain, I'd have had to miss the day. Garth Brooks. A big James Taylor fan there, for sure. Awesome. All right. Let's see. Let's do a, I'm going to do, I haven't done in a long time, it's a Paul Simon song. Got on my list here. I'm guessing he's a James Taylor fan. Just guessing. Who's not, right? All right. Let's see. I'm gonna go there. Paul Simon. Slip sliding away, slip sliding away. The near your destination, the more you'll slip sliding away. 'Cause I know a man, he came from my hometown. He was passion for his woman like a thorny crown. He said, Dolores, I live in fear. My love for you is so overpowering, I'm afraid that I will just disappear. Slip sliding away, slip sliding away. The near your destination, the more you'll a good day ain't got no name. She says a bad day's for the lying bed, and I think of all the things that might have been. Slip sliding away, slip sliding away. You know the nearer your destination, the more you'll slip sliding away. Cause I know a father who had a son. He longed to tell him all the reasons for the things he done. He came a long way just to explain. He kissed his boy as he lay asleep, and then he turned around and he headed home again. Slip sliding away, slip sliding away. You know the nearer your destination, the more you'll slip sliding away. God only knows, God makes his plan. The information's unavailable to the mortal man. We work our job, collect our pay, leave we're gliding down the highway, when in fact we're slip sliding away, slip sliding away, slip sliding away. You know the nearer your destination, the more you'll slip sliding away. Destination, the more you'll slip sliding away. Thank you, Joseph. Paul Simon, also a big James Taylor fan, I'm sure.
Oh, it says, back in the forefront of popular music, Taylor guested with Paul Simon on Art Garfunkel's recording of the cover Sam.
Okay, so they played together. That's perfect. I got Ivy doing my research over here. Thanks, Ives. All right, I'm going to do classic James Taylor here. There's a little story behind this song. It's my story. I know it's James's story. Wrote this one. This is his arguably his first hit that he had, and I read somewhere where he was kind of surprised that this was his first hit because it was like a very personal song to him about sort of he was going through battling depression and heroin addiction and all kinds of issues, and wrote the song Fire and Rain. And this was actually the first song when I, long story short, auditioned to play my first gig where I actually got paid money to play a music gig. Was up in a place called the Ancient Mariner. Long live the Ancient Mariner. In beautiful Monaco, Wisconsin in the summer of 1986. And I walked into this place and I guess I'll make this short story a little longer here. Hey Mike, how are you? It's James Taylor night, by the way, if you're just getting here. So anyways, walked into this place, and I was a fan of going in there to see different musicians play. Guy Tuck Pence up in the Northwoods, who's a legend. My dear friend Danny Lincoln, banjo player extraordinaire. He would play at this Ancient Mariner. And I went in and just asked the bartender, hey, what's going on this summer musically? Is it the same kind of lineup? And he goes, well, you got this, this, and this. Why, do you play? And I was just sort of taken aback, and I was sitting there with a buddy of mine, Dana Epperson from North Central College. Dana he's like, yeah, he plays. He's great. He's really great. And literally, I think I knew a dozen songs at that point. And he's like, well, he goes, we got Tuesday nights open. He goes, why don't you bring your guitar by tomorrow and let's, we'll give you a listen and go from there. And so anyways, I walked out there. I'm like, I know 12 songs. I said to my buddy, I'm like, I can't, I couldn't do this. And my buddy's like, come on. And so anyways, I went back the next day, and the song that I played as my demo was Fire and Rain. And so that was, like I said, 1986. And the rest was history. That was the guy, basically, I played that, and I played Heart of Gold. So maybe we'll play Heart of Gold after this. And those were the two songs I played, and he goes, Tuesday nights are yours. And so that summer was the first summer that I played music and got paid $25 a night. And I was the king of all the world at that point. So I rented a PA system from Rhinelander Music for $50 for the summer. It was literally, you plugged 2 lines into one of the speakers, ran a line from that speaker over the other one, and you called yourself good to go. So there we go. Anyways, Mr. Mark McNeil in the house. All right. So here's the first song I ever played, and James Taylor's first hit as well. Just yesterday morning, they let me know you were gone. Susan, the plans they made put an end to you. Walked out this morning and I wrote down this song. I just can't remember who to send it to. I've seen fire and I've seen rain. Seen sunny days, thought they'd never end. I've seen lonely times that I could not find a friend. But I always thought that I'd see you again. So won't you look down on me, Jesus? You gotta help me to make a stand. Just got to see me through another day. My body's aching, and my time is at hand. I won't make it any other way. Oh, well, I've seen fire and I've seen rain. I've seen sunny days and I thought they'd never end. I've seen lonely times I could not find a friend. But I always thought that I'd see you again. I've been walking my mind to an easy time. My back turned towards the sun. Lord knows a cold wind blows, got to turn your head around. Well, there's hours of time on the telephone lines, talking about things to come. Greens and flying machines and pieces on the ground. Oh, well, I've seen fire and I've seen rain. Seen sunny days and thought they'd never end. I've seen lonely times I could not find a friend. But I always thought that I'd see you, baby, one more time again now. Thought I'd see you one more time again. There's just a few things coming my way this time around. I'd see you, thought I'd see you fire and rain down. Thought I'd see you, thought I'd see you one more time, Suzanne. The great JT. All right, probably, if not his most famous, right up there with his most famous tunes. And again, his first hit. So, all righty. How about? So I'm doing James Taylor Night because, as I mentioned earlier, that it's his birthday coming up this week, March 12th, and James will be 73 years young. Also, shout out, it's Uncle Dr. Bobby's birthday tomorrow. So I don't know if he's on the line. We'll tell him happy birthday when. All right, it's a good question. Put that one up there. Started the summer with 12 songs. How many did you have at the end of the summer? Yes, I went all in. I was working at camp, and every spare moment that I had at camp, I was learning songs. So I got the gig. I was playing the following Tuesday, and I think at that point I had maybe 18 songs. So essentially I had to play them all twice, the first gig. And then I think the second gig I probably had 30 songs because I was just going all in, like I said. And ended the summer, I bet you I probably had a repertoire of maybe 60 songs, I would say, at that point. Don't ask how many I know now. That will date me. Anyways, how about some John Prine? I'm sure there was a mutual respect between John Prine and James Taylor. Both great songwriters. One known more for his vocal ability than the other, but John Prine was great. I'm going to do that tune that I really didn't ever hear until John passed away, sadly, due to the COVID back in almost a year ago now. I think it was last April. Oh, yeah. And it's a beautiful tune called The Speed of the Sound of Loneliness. So, another happy song to follow up that last happy song. Yes, exactly. Much harder. And I actually had to memorize everything too. No iPads. Come home late and you come home early. Come home big when you're feeling small. You come home straight and you come home curly. Sometimes you don't come home at all. So what in the world's come over you? What in heaven's name have I done? You've broken the speed of the sound of loneliness. You're out there running just to be on the run. I got a heart that burns with a fever. I got a worry and a troubled mind. How can a love that lasts forever get left so far behind? So what in the world's come over you? What in heaven's name have I done? You've broken the speed of the sound of loneliness. You're out there running just to be on the run. Is this somebody made out of dreadful sorrow? It's crossed the evil line today. Now how can you ask about tomorrow? We ain't got one word to say. So what in the world's come over you? What in heaven's name have I done? Well, you've broken the speed of the sound of loneliness. You're out there running just to be on the run. You're out there running just to be on the run. Mr. John Prine. All right. I'll play one more song, and then maybe we're going to make some room for Ivy up here. Always my favorite part of the show. Right, Ives? Let's do another great JT song here. This is one that James Taylor, so he got his big break. Played in different little bands, one of them including the Flying Machine, Pieces on the Ground, but the Flying Machine was one of his bands. Corey, Long Black Train. Oh man, there's a long black train. That's a great tune, but I don't think I could possibly sing that low. Josh Turner. But you know what? I could work up a version of that. Can you write me a note? Long Black Train. Just jot it down somewhere. It's a great song. All right, back to James Taylor. So he got his break in 1968. He went to London, and he had a little demo tape, and he was trying to get it in different people's hands. And how he got it in Peter Asher's hand, I don't know. But Peter Asher was the A&R guy at Apple Records, which happened to be the label of the Beatles. And Peter Asher liked it, and he got it in front of, basically he said, hey, you need to listen to this, talking to Paul McCartney and George Harrison. And Peter Asher said, can you give this guy 5 minutes? And they said, 5 minutes. He's got 5 minutes. And James Taylor walked in and played something, and the end of the story was he left, and Paul McCartney and George Harrison said, yeah, sign this guy. He's solid. But one of the cool things is in the song Caroline in My Mind, he wrote that tune kind of, he grew up in Carolina and was very sad kind of when he was in London, that he was away from home, and wrote the tune Caroline in My Mind. But one of my favorite lines in that song is he sings, where there's a holy host of others standing around me, but still I'm on the dark side of the moon. So he talks about the holy host of others standing around him was Paul McCartney and George Harrison for those 5 minutes that he said he was very nervous because he thought the world of this was the Beatles, you know, the biggest thing ever to hit music outside of Elvis. And here he was playing. He said the holy host of others standing around me was the Beatles as he was playing. But he's still on the dark side of the moon, so he still felt like he was far away. So here's Caroline in my mind, one of my favorite JT songs. And then Ivy. In my mind, I've gone to Carolina. Can't you see the sunshine? Can't you just feel the moon shining? Ain't it just like a friend of mine? Hit me from behind. Yes, I'm gone to Carolina in my mind. Karen, she's a silver sun. Just walk her away and watch it shining. Watch her watch the morning come. A silver tear appearing, now I'm crying. Ain't I gone to Carolina in my mind? Ain't no doubt in no one's mind, love's the finest thing around, and whisper something soft and kind. Hey babe, sky's on fire, I'm dying. Ain't I gone to Carolina in my mind? In my mind, I've gone to Carolina. Can't you see the sunshine? Can't you just feel the moon shining? Ain't it just like a friend of mine to hit me from behind? Oh, I'm gone to Carolina in my mind. Dark and silently last night, I think I might have heard the highway calling. He's sending flying dogs at mine. Signs that might be omens say I'm going, I'm gone to Carolina in my mind. It's with the holy host of others standing around me. Still I'm on the dark side of the moon, and it looks like it goes on like this forever. No, you must forgive me if I'm up and gone to Carolina in my mind. In my mind, I'm long gone to Carolina. Can't you see the sunshine? Can't you just feel the moon shining? Ain't it just like a friend of mine to hit me from behind? Oh, I'm gone to Carolina in my mind. Gone to Carolina in my mind. Oh, I'm already gone. I'm gone. Say nice things about me, 'cause I'm gone. You have to carry on without me. I'm gone. Gone to Carolina in my mind. I'm gone. Yes, I'm gone to Carolina in my mind. JT. All right. Ives, are you ready?
Yeah.
All right. Got your iPad?
Yeah, sorry.
That's all right. All right. Without further ado, it's my favorite Taylor Swift singer ever. Ivy. Yeah, yeah.
Are we gonna do this one first?
Let's see. Whatever you want to do. It's your show at this point. Let's try. Yeah, let's do that one first.
Okay.
And we're getting a. Is that gonna work? How about let's do this? Hang on, we're just doing a little arrangement while you wait. Now put it there. There you go.
Can you
that's
see that?
Yeah, I think so. All right, what's the name of the song?
Betty.
We're gonna do a song called Betty, and then we're gonna do an encore of the one we did last week, which was Champagne Problems, right?
Mhm.
All right, so
Okay. Tell me when to go.
I'm following you.
Betty, I'll make assumptions about why you switched your home mood. Think it's 'cause of me. Betty, one time I was riding on a skateboard, went past your house. It's like I could breathe. You heard the rumors from Inez. You can't believe what she says most times, but this time it's true. The worst thing that I ever did was what I did to you. If you showed up at your party, would you have me? Would you want me? Would you tell me to go straight to hell or lead me to the garden? In the garden, would you trust me if I told you it was just a summer thing? Only 17, I don't know anything, but I know I miss you. Betty, I know where it all went. My favorite song was playing from the far side of the gym. I was nowhere to be found. I had the crowds, you know. Plus, I saw you dance with him. You heard the rumors from Inez. You can't believe what she says most times, but this time it's true. The worst thing that I ever did was what I did to you. But if I just showed up at your party, but if I just showed up at your party, would you have me? Would you want me? Would you tell me to go straight to hell or lead me to the garden? In the garden, would you trust me if I told you it was just a summer thing? Only 17, I don't know anything, but I know I miss you. I was walking home on broken cobblestone.
awesome. Nice job, Ives.
Thanks.
Isn't Ives great? Bring on Ivy. I agree. More Ivy. All right, so Taylor Swift, you know this, right? Taylor Swift was named
Yeah.
after James Taylor. And I remember you showed me that thing where at a Taylor Swift concert, James Taylor came out and they played, was it Fire and Rain? I think they played Fire and Rain. So that was awesome. So we figured we had to do 2 Taylor Swift songs since we're here, right? And it's James Taylor night. So. All right, so last week you did the song Champagne, nailed the keychains. See, Smiley's a musician. He understands the keychain. We were going to leave the key change out, and I'm like, no, I'll play it. They were kind of goofy chords for the ukulele, but we did. We got. What's that?
Should I scroll it up a little?
That's good. We're fine.
Okay.
Ready? It's muted. Oh, you're fine. Go ahead.
You booked the night train for a reason, so you could sit there in this. Boston cards are silent sleepers, you're not sure which is worse. Because I dropped your hand while dancing, left you out there standing, crestfallen on the landing. Champagne problems, your mom's ring in your pocket, my picture in your wallet. Your heart was glass, I dropped it. Champagne problems. You told your family for a reason, you couldn't keep it. Scissors splashed out on the bottle, now no one's celebrating. Dom Perignon you brought in, no crowd of friends applauded. Your hometown skeptics called it champagne problems. You had a speech, you're speechless, love slipped beyond your reaches, and I couldn't give a reason. Champagne problems. Your Midas touch in the Chevy door, November flush in your flannel cure. This dome was once a madhouse. I made a joke, well it's made for me. How evergreen, a group of friends don't think we'll say that word again, and soon they'll have the nerve to deck the halls that we once walked through. 1 for the money, 2 for the show. I never was ready, so I watched you go. Sometimes you just don't know the answer. Someone's on their knees and asked you, she would have made such a lovely bride. What a shape she's stuck in the head. They said, you'll find the real thing instead. She'll patch up the tapestry that I shred and hold your hand while dancing. Never leave you standing, crestfallen on the landing. With champagne problems, your mom's ring in your pocket, her picture in your wallet, and you won't remember all my champagne problems. And you won't remember all my champagne problems.
Oh, maybe even better than last week. Outstanding, Eyes.
Thank you.
Let's give it up for Ivy, everybody. Oh, wait. Don't go too far. Oh, wait a minute. Where do I have that? Oh, in my orange bag down behind the couch there. In there is that book, the flip book. All right. I'm going to have Ivy
I'll go first.
do, yeah, no worries. She's going to do another job here. I'm going to have, I'm going to play arguably my favorite James Taylor song. James Taylor says this is his best song too. This is a song that was written. James Taylor, his family's amazing too. He had 3 brothers and a sister who are all musicians, who've all recorded albums. His kids are musicians, and So it's a very musical family. But his older brother Alex, when James was in London, he came back from London and came back to find out that his brother Alex had and his wife had a child. And James Taylor says, when he talks about it, he says, in a moment of lapse of judgment, they named the rascal after James. And so, and that's where the song, and then so they named their child James, and while James was driving down to Virginia, I believe, to meet the little guy, he wrote the song Sweet Baby James. So there's a little confusion. Some people think, oh, it's about James, but it's about the nephew that he has that was named after James Taylor. And so when this, like I said, it's probably my favorite song. When I found out that James Taylor created a pop-up book called Sweet Baby James, I'm like, I gotta have that. So I'm gonna play Sweet Baby James, but Ivy's gonna hold up the pop-up book. We're gonna see how this works. Maybe, I wonder if you stand, let's see, let me just open up one page, see how, oh yeah, that's pretty cool, but we need to get it closer. So if you go like, yeah, right, so here, if you stand here, let me have you stand right over on the other side of that. So you see, can you stand right there? Move the guitar thing out, the guitar stand.
It's
You're
okay.
fine. I got you.
Oops.
All right, and you can cover the whole thing. They don't need to
Like
see
that?
me. Yeah, that's cool. So,
Is that level?
yeah, that's good. So, you gotta keep an eye on the, sort of on the word. Do your best. All right, so anyway, so Ivy's gonna show you this cool pop-up book. They don't make pop-up books anymore. There it is, Sweet Baby James. Anyway, so I had to have this book, but Ivy's going to show you the pop-up book while I play Sweet Baby James. So here we go. He said it's kind of a cowboy lullaby. It says lights out in the bunkhouse and go to sleep, you little buckaroo, is what James Taylor always says. So here we go. Sweet Baby James. He's a young cowboy, lives on the range. His horse and his cattle, they're his only companion. Well, he works in the saddle and he sleeps in the canyon, just waiting for summer, his pastures to change. Yes, and as the moon rises, he sits by his fire, just thinking about when moon glasses of beer, and closing his eyes as the doggies retire. He sings out a song which is soft but is clear, just as if maybe someone could hear. So good night, all you moonlight ladies. Rock my old sweet baby James. Deep greens and blues for the colors I've chosen. Won't you let me home down in my dream? It's time to rock about your sweet baby James. Now the 1st of December was covered with snow. Yes, and so was the turnpike from Stockbridge to Boston. Though the Berkshires seemed green light on account of that frosting, but 10 miles behind me, and 10,000 more to go, you know. There's a song that they sing when they take to the highway, a song that they sing when they take to the sea, a song that they sing of their home in the sky. Maybe you can believe it if it helps you to sleep. It's just a singing scene So good night, all you moonlight ladies. Rock my old sweet baby James. Deep greens and blues for the colors I choose. Won't you let me go down in my dreams? It's time to rock by your sweet baby Jane. Sweet baby James. That was a workout.
And
Our arms were extended out for that 3 minutes that song lasts. Actually, it's probably 2.5 minutes. James Taylor was the master in those early years of writing songs that were, you wanted more. Like there should have been another verse in that song. You know, it doesn't go long enough. It's such a great song. And there's so many tunes that are on those first couple of records that are 2 minutes and 20 seconds, 2 minutes and 30 seconds. He left you wanting more. You know, it's like Elvis Costello did the same thing. They don't do these 6-minute songs too often. You know, they're just get after it, you know, don't mess around. And that one's very non-traditional sort of a song too. Verse, chorus, that's the end of it. No bridge, no nothing there. So, all right. Let's see. What else we got here for us? I was gonna do Bob Dylan tune. I'm gonna do a Bob Dylan featured artist night too. So let's do. I'm gonna do The Times They Are a Changin' right here. All right. All right. If you got any requests. Got a few more JT songs. Thank you, Tom. I appreciate you. That's awesome. Are you a James Taylor fan, Tom? I'm guessing you are. All right. Here we go. Times they are a-changin'. Come gather round, people, wherever you roam, and admit that the waters around you have grown, and accept it that soon you'll be drenched to the bone. If your time to you is worth saving, oh, you better start swimming or you'll sink like a stone. For the times they are a-changin'. Come writers and critics, prophesize with your pen, and keep your eyes wide, the chance won't come again. And don't speak too soon, or the wheel's still in spin, and there's no telling who that is naming. All the loser now will let her win, for the times they are a-changin'. I got the wrong part. Come senators, congressmen, please heed the call. Don't stand in the doorway, don't block up the hall. For he that gets hurt will be he who has stalled. And the battle outside is raging. We'll soon shake your windows and rattle your walls. For the times they are a-changin'. Come mothers and fathers throughout the beyond your command, and your old road is rapidly aging. Please get out a new one if you can lend your hand, for the times they are changing. With a line it is drawn, cursed it is cast, and the slow one now will later be fast, as the present now will later be past, and the order is rapidly fading, and the first one now will later be last, for the times they are changing, for the times they are changing. I realized I grabbed the wrong harmonica in the middle of that song, and so therefore it doesn't do me any good. Ted, you loved the read and sing along to JT. Awesome. Yes. So good. They don't make good solid pop-up books anymore. Remember back in the day when we were growing up? It was awesome. I do that with kids in my class. I get a helper and I sing Sweet Baby James to them, and we do the pop-up book, and the kids love it. It's awesome. I think I maybe did this one a week or two ago. Yeah. James Taylor does a great version of this George Jones song. It's sad, real sad. This is called She Thinks I Still Care. Like James says, pathetic. All right, here we go. Here we go. George Jones via James Taylor. Oh, she thinks I still care. Well, just because I asked a friend about her, just because I spoke her name somewhere, just because I rang her number by mistake today, she thinks I still care. And just because I haunt the same old places where the memory of her lingers everywhere, just because I'm not the happy guy I used to be, she thinks I still care. But if she's happy thinking I still need her, then let that foolish notion bring you cheer. But how could she ever be so foolish? Oh, where would she get such an idea? And just because I asked a friend about her, just because I spoke her name somewhere, just because I saw her flaming all to pieces, she thinks I still care. Oh, she thinks I still care. George Jones via James Taylor there. So good. All right, what else I got? JT. Oh, this is a great one. Again, off of one of the early, either the James Taylor, the original first record, which wasn't a big success, or it was on Sweet Baby James, or Mudslide Slim was the next one, I think. Not sure which this one was on, but it's a great tune called Blossom. Blossoms, blossoms, sunshine down my way. Lately I've been lonesome. Blossom, it's been much too long a day. Seems my dreams have frozen, melt my cares away. And send the sunshine down my way whenever you call my name. I know what you mean to say to me, girl, it's all the same. Blossom, there's an empty road behind. Sit you down beside me. Blossom, there's a sweet dream on my mind. There's a song inside me. Take these chains away and send the sunshine down my way whenever you call my name. I know what you mean to say to me, girl, it's all the same. Blossom, blossom, sunshine down my way. Lately I've been lonesome. Blossom, it's been much too long a day. Seems my dreams have frozen, melt my cares away. La 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 la. Blossom, old school JT there. All right, do a couple more tunes and then maybe one more JT song and call it a James Taylor tribute night. Oh, you know what? I'm gonna play. This song was there's a great version. Don't go right now, but when we're done here, if you go on YouTube and search up Zac Brown Band, James Taylor, they do this tune "Colder Weather" together. James Taylor sings the second verse, and at the end of the song, they go into Sweet Baby James with Zac Brown. Zac Brown's a huge James Taylor fan, and I'm sure James Taylor's a huge Zac Brown fan because they're pound for pound one of the best bands in the world. But I'm gonna do this "Colder Weather" song, and but when we're done here in a few minutes, go check out YouTube and pull it up. It's amazing. All right, here we go. She'd trade Colorado if it'd take her with her. Closes the door before the winter lets the cold in, and wonders if her love is strong enough to make him stay. She's answered by the taillights shining through the window pane. Said I want to see you again, but I'm stuck in colder weather. Maybe tomorrow will be better. Can I call you then? Thanks, Mike. She says you're rambling. You ain't ever gonna change. You got a gypsy soul to blame, and you were born believing. This is a James Taylor verse. At a truck stop diner just outside Lincoln. The night is black as the coffee he was drinking. And in the waitress' eyes he sees that same old light there shining. He thinks of Colorado and the girl he left behind him. He said, I want to see you again, but I'm stuck in colder weather. Maybe tomorrow will be better. Can I call you then? She says, you're rambling man. You ain't never gonna change. You got a gypsy soul to blame, and you were born believing. Born believing. Well, it's a winding road when you're in the lost and found. 'Cause you're a lover, I'm on a, we go round and round. And I love you but leave you. I don't want you but need you. No, it's you calls me back here, baby. I want to see you again, but I'm stuck in colder weather. Maybe tomorrow will be better. Can we go you there? 'Cause I'm a rambling man. I ain't ever gonna change. You got a gypsy soul to blame, and you were born believing. Born believing. And when I close my eyes, I see you, no matter where I am. 'Cause I can smell your perfume through these whispering pines. I'm with your ghost again. 'Cause it's a shame about the weather. I know soon we'll be together. Can't wait till then. I can't wait till then. Zach Brown Band. Again, check that out. Yes, Smiley. Did you put that one up already? Familiar with the song? Fill her up, son. Oh, lady. I need a full tank of gas where I'm headed. Yeah, it's a great tune. And it's an amazing song at the end when it kind of switches to that whole gospel-y vibe thing going on. Oh, it's amazing. All right, what else is on my list here? I'll do that next week. Let's do. I'm gonna do it. You know, we're just gonna shake it up here. Wake up folks that might be falling asleep at this point. We're gonna do a Coldplay song. I've had this on my list for like the last several weeks and haven't played it, so it's a Coldplay tune. I used to rule the world. Seas would rise when I gave the word. In the morning I sleep alone. Sweep the streets I used to own. I used to roll the dice, feel the fear in my enemy's eyes. Listen as the crowd, well the crowd would sing. began. One minute I held the key. Next the wall was on me. I discovered that my castle stands upon hills of soft, hills of sand. I hear Jerusalem bells ringing, Roman cavalry choirs singing. Be my mirror, my sword and shield, missionaries in a foreign field. For some reason I can't explain. Once you've gone, it was never, never an honest word. That was when I ruled the world. Okay. It was a wicked and a wild wind. Blew down the doors, let me in. Shattered windows and the sound of drums. People couldn't believe what I'd become. Revolutionaries wait. Hold my head on a silver plate, just been on a lonely string. Oh, who'd ever want to be king? I hear Jerusalem bells ringing, Roman cavalry choirs singing. Be my mirror, my sword and shield, missionaries in a foreign field. For some reason I can't explain, those same people would call my name. Never an honest word. That was when I ruled the world. There's the big sing-along part. Ready? I hear Jerusalem bells ringing, Roman cavalry choirs singing. Be my mirror, my sword and shield, missionaries in a foreign field. For some reason I can't explain, I know St. Peter would call my name. Never an honest word. That was when I ruled the world. Oh, never an honest word. That was when I ruled the world. Honest word. That was when I ruled the world. There you go, a little Coldplay to shake things up a little there. All right.
Shake up.
All right, how about, I mentioned earlier that it was Peter Asher from the Beatles that he was the A&R guy at Apple Records, and he went on to, I think, manage James Taylor. He left, it was kind of a weird deal, I don't know the whole story, but James left Apple Records after the first record and got signed by Warner. Peter Asher went with him. Peter Asher ended up being the manager for Linda Ronstadt and some other people at the time. That's sort of the rest was history. But anyways, it was the Beatles, George Harrison and Paul McCartney, who really gave James the thumbs up after that 5-minute audition he had for them. And so I think it's only appropriate that we throw in a Beatles tune here, and then we'll wrap it up with one more JT song. So no shortage of great Beatles songs. Speaking of which, I started the evening with Something in the Way She Moves, and George Harrison wrote the tune Something, and the opening line was a tribute to how great he thought Something in the Way She Moves. He says, something in the way she moves attracts me like no other lover. Anyways, that was a tribute to James Taylor's song that came out the year before, Something in the Way She Moves. So, a little trivia there. So here's a little Beatles. Yesterday,
All my troubles seem so far away. Now it looks as though they're here to stay. Oh, I believe in yesterday. Suddenly, I'm not half the man I used to be. There's a shadow hanging over me. Oh, yesterday came suddenly. Oh, why she had to go, I don't know. She wouldn't say. I said something wrong, now I know. Oh, yesterday. Love was such an easy game to play. Now I need a place to hide away. Oh, I believe in yesterday. And why she had to go, I don't know. She wouldn't say. And I said something wrong, now I long. Oh, yesterday. Love was such an easy game to play. Now I need a place to hide away. Oh, I believe in yesterday. The Beatles.
All right. Well, thank you so much for tuning in here on spending your Sunday evening or part of your Sunday evening with myself and Ivy. I thank Ivy for spending her evening with me. One more time for Ivy and the Taylor Swift. Oof, so good. All right, so if by chance if you're new, hit the little subscribe button, which is right somewhere down over there. Love to see you back on board in on another Sunday night coming up here. This is one of my favorite, next to Sweet Baby James, this is probably my next favorite song. I want this one played at my funeral, so somebody remember that. You remember, Ives?
I'll remember it.
All right, here we go. If I did it in the right key, that would be good. Let's start that over. Much better.
Well, the sun is surely sinking down, but the moon is slowly rising. This old world must still be spinning around. Yes, and I still love you. So close your eyes. You can close your eyes, it's alright. 'Cause I don't know no love songs. I can't sing the blues anymore. Sure, but I can sing this song. You can sing this song when I'm gone. It won't be long before another day. You're saying we're gonna have a good time. No one's gonna take that time away. You can stay as long as you like. Only close your eyes. can close your eyes, it's alright. No, I don't know no love songs. I can't sing the blues anymore. Sure, but I can sing this song. You can sing this song when I'm gone.
James Taylor there. Been fun. That's fun for me because James Taylor is one of my top 2 or 3 artists of all time. And so thank you for hanging out. Thank you for listening. Really appreciate it. Maybe we'll see you next Sunday night. Have a great week, and I'll look forward to seeing you soon. Thank you. Bye.
Sunny sky sleeps in the morning. He doesn't know when to rise. He closes his weary eyes upon the day. Look at him yawning, throwing his morning hours away. He knows how to ease down slowly. Everything is fine in the end, and you will be pleased to know the sunny skies hasn't a friend. Sunny skies weeps in the evening. It doesn't much matter why. I guess he just has to cry from time to time. Everyone's leaving, and sunny skies has to stay behind. Still he knows how to ease down slow. Oh no, everything is fine in the end, and you will be pleased to know the sunny skies hasn't a friend. Sunny skies sleeps in the morning. He doesn't know when to rise. Closes his weary eyes upon the day and throws it all away. Looking at the snow and trees that go outside my window. Looking at the things that pass me by. Wondering if where I've been is worth the things I've been through. Ending with a friend named Sunny Skies.